Okay, so for question 11 to 15, let's take a look at 11. Two of the following four facts about a positive integer n are true and two are false. So first of all, we look at these statements and try to determine which of them is true or false. For the first three sentences, they are very much related. If n is divisible by 55, it means that it has to be divisible by 5 and 11. So three of them would be correct at the same time if the third one is correct, which means that the third one cannot be correct. So this is a false statement. And if the first two are true, the third one would be true as well. Because if anything is divisible by 5 and 11, there's no reason it can't be divisible by 55, right? So it means that for the first two statements, it's one true and one false. Now, if that's one true and one false, now I have the two false statements among the first three, which means that this last one is going to be, well, let's say I'm marking this as a false. But the last one would be true because the only one other true must be one of the first or the second statements, right? And now I can see that if n is less than 10, it cannot possibly be divisible by 11 because it's a positive integer, which means it's not 0. So this is false and this is true. So if anything is divisible by 5 and less than 10, it has to be 5. So the answer is 5. Second question, question 12. It says that this shape is made of a rectangle, a square, and an equilateral triangle, which all have the same perimeter. If the length of the square is 9, it means that the perimeter is 4 times 9, which is 36. So for the equilateral triangle, each side is 36 divided by 3, which is 12 centimeters, right? And then for the rectangle, the width adding the length is half the perimeter, which is 36 divided by 2, that is 18 centimeters. Now I know that the length of the rectangle is 12 centimeters because it's the same as the equilateral triangle. So it means the width is equal to 18 take away 12, which is 6 centimeters. So the answer is C. And then the third one, what is the minimum number of cubes of the same size required to fill a box with dimensions 30 by 40 by 50? So if I want as few cubes as possible, it means that all of the cubes have to be as big as possible, right? But then all of them has to be the same size, which means that I can't choose any size I want. It has to fit in to each dimension, right? So it means that I'm looking for the highest common factor of 30, 40, and 50 for the side length of the cube, which is going to be 10 centimeters. So it means that each cube is 10 by 10 by 10, which means that you can fit 3, 4, and 5 cubes along each dimension. So the number is like the minimum number of cubes is equal to 3 times 4 times 5, which is going to be 60. Alright, so the answer is C. For question number 14, Henry starts to read a 290-page book on a Sunday. He reads 4 pages every day except on Sundays, which he reads 25 pages. So he's starting from Sunday, right? Which means that he's going to read 25, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, which adds up to 49 pages per week. Alright, so if I have 290 divided by 49, it's going to be equal to 5 with a remainder of 45. Which means that you would need 25 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, which means an extra 6 days. 5 represents 5 weeks, and an extra 6 days to complete the book. So the answer is going to be 5 times 7, adding 6, which is 35 adding 6, that is 41 days. Alright, so the answer is A. For question 15, Amy, Bob, Kat and Dee occupy the top 4 positions in a chess tournament, which are 1, 2, 3, 4. The sum of Amy's position, Bob's position, and Dee's position is 6. Which means that C, Kat, is getting the 4th place, because 1, 2, 3 adds up to 6. The sum of Bob's position and Kat's position is 6, which means that Bob is going to be 6 take away 4, which is 2. So Bob is ending 2nd. And Bob finished ahead of Amy, which means Amy is 3rd. So who came first in the tournament? That's going to be D. Alright, so that's 11 to 15.